Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Scope podcast. I've been a little under the weather, so I'm a little late for this topic, but I wanted to discuss the Super Bowl halftime featuring Kendrick Lamar and SZA. I personally enjoyed the Super Bowl halftime show. Just thinking about all the Super Bowl halftime shows I had to see coming up, you know, just not seeing a lot of diversity in those and not like seeing a lot of music that I could relate to growing up. So being a hip hop fan, this was special to me. Being able to finally see that, other than the Dr. Dre Super Bowl that they did a couple of years ago when my Rams won the Super Bowl. Other than that, you don't see too much diversity. I mean, they had Prince and Michael Jackson back in the day, but those were far in between. For the most part, it's been mostly country music, pop music that's been kind of controlling the scenes as far as the Super Bowl halftime show goes. But it's a lot of criticism about the Super Bowl halftime show that people didn't understand the lyrics and things like that. We must all understand that music is subjective and music is also about relatability. Kendrick Lamar's performance was about hip hop and being black. And of course, you're not going to understand that unless you're from that culture or you associated with people from that culture. Growing up from a background of living in mostly the inner city, I was able to relate with the performance and the music, of course, but also I can relate to other genres as well because I was exposed to other things growing up, other music, the Eagles, pop music, country music. Being in Memphis and being in Tennessee, you're gonna hear country music whether you like it or not. You kind of get used to it. And also going in undergrad, going to Tennessee State University in Nashville, the capital of country music, so to speak, or it's right near it. So I was able to be exposed to these things and not judge these things and respect these things for what they are. But of course, some people, when they don't understand things, they judge it from a critical lens and they don't understand the music because they don't try to understand the music. It's just kind of like those things that when people say they don't have time for things, you make time for what you make time for, and you uh, judge music from a critical lens, you're not making the time to do so. And a lot of people don't do that. They just want to judge stuff and just want to say what things are without understanding the music and understanding the relatability that you have to listen to that music. I didn't grow up on a farm or knew anybody on a farm. Didn't grow up around a bunch of animals and things like that. So I don't understand animals, but I understand people who do because, like I said, everybody grew up different, and everyone has those different experiences, and we have to understand that. But as a country, we'll never get on the same page about anything because anything that's different, we want to judge and laugh about it or criticize it. But nevertheless, getting off the negativity of those fans, just to talk about the music performance, the performance, what I liked most about it, I think, is that it had a concept to it. Whether I didn't understand it or not, is because of his artistic expression. Only probably truly he knows what the meaning behind of it all means. Having Samuel Jackson as Uncle Sam, having the video game buttons intertwined in between, and having the game over at the end. There's a lot of different theories about what that concept meant, and I think from a conceptual standpoint, I think he was trying to say you play the game, and the Samuel L. Jackson piece was trying to tell him how to play the game, but he still went on his own route. So it's kind of saying that if you play the game and people try to tell you how to do it, you do it your own way until the game is over. That's what I conceptualized from that. I'm not sure if it's right. It's probably not right, but that's what I depicted from it. But just the concept of everything was just well, and the dancing and the choreography and the American flag and how, Black people are the backbones of this country because we helped build it involuntarily. Um, so, it was a very great performance, especially during Black History Month. And then they had all the people singing the songs that were Black, and the NFL did a good job of bringing that diversity or bringing acknowledgement to everything that was foreshadowing to come with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, which was a beautiful thing to see that first wanted another Black quarterback to win the Super Bowl. It's only been four in its existence to do so. since Doug Williams and, Pat Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and now Jalen Hurts. So the evolution of everything and the significance of this performance was just a total chef's kiss, as they like to say. And then on top of that, just to think about SZA's performance, and I wish she had a more of a performance. She didn't. I think she only performed 2 songs, but nevertheless, she got the exposure to a whole new audience and to a whole new um, to whole new listeners, especially on that platform of 133 million plus people watching. So it was great for her to get out that way. Her voice was beautiful, and just the outfit and everything just intermingled so well. And then you had the Serena appearance, which Serena, um, a lot of people linked her to her past relationship to Drake, but she cleared that up, saying that Kendrick reached out to her and asked if she wanted to do the Crip Walk during the set, and she did, and that was the end of the story. People made it more deeper than what it was. Pause about their performance. I think it was significant especially being from Compton, like Kendrick Lamar, like she was, and just bringing in the whole culture that he brought in during that performance. A lot of people didn't understand it, but like I said, it made sense to the eyes of the people who knows Kendrick's music and are fans of this hip hop thing that we do. Um, and me personally, I love the playlist because he even kind of foreshadowed on the interview that he did with Apple Music before. He said he liked to live in the now and not the past. He did perform like All the Lights and a couple other songs from the past, but he already did those songs in a performance with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg previously, a couple Super Bowls ago. So he wanted to make it all about this GNX album, even having the GNX vehicle out there, I think was another thing that he was foreshadowing. I like a lot of those songs on that album. One of his greater works I think that he has put out, other than To Pimp a Butterfly, that's still my favorite album that he's put out. But nevertheless, it was a great performance, great excitement. I was waiting through the whole game, especially since the game was a blowout. I was waiting for that halftime show just to see what new wrinkles he would put in the performance, and for him to have a whole concept. It was very apropos for a Kendrick Lamar performance. He's all about the metaphors and having this symbolism out through his music and also through his performances. So um, I think it was just a great opportunity for music and music alike. Um, and then at the game over at the end was just the cherry on top. I think, and just saying that, hey, the beef is over. I'm going to move forward in my music. Everything that I've did over this past last year, I was a part of a process, and that process has been completed. And it was an amazing process, an amazing journey that he's taken us through all the way from May of last year until fruition now. So it was a great time in music and definitely a great time in hip hop. And I loved the performance. Um, and then that's pretty much all I have on the matter at this time. So until next time, game over.